All right. How we doing, guys? There. All right. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Got everyone here.
Yep.
Yep.
And Matt's eating already. That's
I just got home. I had
Oh.
to stay out late.
that's cool,
I
man.
had to stay late. I just got home pretty much.
I understand. All right. So where we left off, after the adventurous party decided to destroy some statues in a narrow hallway, somehow, luckily, not alerting the cultist in the adjoining room, they went over and discovered some worshippers, which they quickly eliminated, and explored the room, finding some danger, immediate danger, and some special switches to open the door and lead to a great hallway where they were run face to face with a red dragon wormling. Having slew the dragon and going through the spoils, they heard a clamor coming down the hall as hundreds of cultists and worshippers were running toward them with weapons and torches to seek revenge on what they had done. The adventurers ran into the back room where they stood inside a mystical circle and woke up wet and in a swamp. So, and that's where we left off. So you're sitting in a swamp. You look around, there's dead trees, smell of rotten death in the air. You hear creatures scurrying around. Seems to be almost a permanent cloud cover. What do you want to do?
I turn to the group. You can never negotiate with a red dragon. Or so I've heard.
I apologize for running headlong into that rune, but I recognize the magic and our way of escape.
Quick question. Did you say we took a rest after that, or is this immediately after?
Nope, this is immediately after.
That
looking around.
was quite the ordeal, but we seem to have acquired our sword piece.
What else did you guys find? I was a little preoccupied, to say the least.
We would have time for that. We need to figure out where we're at.
Are we sure the people that were following us cannot also come to this place?
There's no guarantee. That's why we need to move.
All right. Fair statement.
Lead the way.
Can I... So you said that it was dreary, there's no sun up or anything like that?
No sun up. It's just a really heavy cloud cover. Almost like it's rained a lot recently.
Do you have a map for us to see or no?
No map. You're just in the middle of the swamp.
Okay.
Gonna make a survival check to see if I can't get my bearings.
Okay.
That'd be a no. That's a 4.
Okay. So you kind of sniff around into the air and listen, and you feel like you know where to head to get to some kind of settlement or somewhere that's better than where you're currently at.
Sorry, that was a 9. I forgot my.
Okay.
Plus. But still, yeah, low.
So go ahead and you take off, and everyone follows, and you walk for an hour or so. You're just in some really deep muck and dirt, like mud up to your knees. It's hard to walk. Zoromir, it's very difficult for you because what their knees is half your body. And so you're just kind of pushing through this the best you can. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
21.
11.
16.
Okay. All right. You've worked through there. You feel like you're heading the right way. Go ahead and make another survival check.
Them are all of us.
All of us?
Whoever's leading the party.
It's
Scar.
18.
18? Okay. Dang, I have never rolled that before. Oh, dear Lord, Matt, please mute your mic. So you continue on. You do seem to see a little bit of a path that looks like maybe it was traveled for a while. And as you go in, you pass through some mud, but you just fall into a bunch of thick vines. So it takes you a while to kind of navigate your way through the vines. You have this sense in you that this really is the direction you want to be heading, but this severely kind of pushed you back. It's going to take a little bit longer to go through there. So time kind of passes by for a bit. It's still daytime. It's hard to tell what part of daytime, whether you're in the leading part or trailing part, but you've pushed through.
Okay.
This is terrible to negotiate or navigate.
I would agree, but it
Can I-
looks like this was the most used trail we've come across.
High up on somebody's shoulders? This is very difficult.
I would offer, but I'm straining enough as it is.
All right, when you're ready to search further, you can make another survival check.
All right. Natural 20.
Well done. You you go for a little bit farther forward, and you happen upon the ruins of it looks like a small stone home. You kind of look around. There's stone floor. The walls are down. There's no door. Not much of a roof really. You kind of look around. There's nothing of value left behind. It looks like this was probably abandoned 1,000 years ago. But
Does it look like it? Is it like a good advantage point? Like we would be able to see people coming from any direction, or
it's pretty open in that regards. It's not something, looking at it, it's not something you would say is safe from predators or things. It's just broken.
I think we should probably keep moving. I don't think that this would be a proper place to rest.
Well, before we go, give me a few minutes, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to construct from the wood or some sort of like poles that I could give to Zoromir that he can walk on in the swamp and give him a little bit of elevation so he's not like neck deep in the water.
Okay.
I-
Let's go with roll an intelligence check.
Is that plus my modifier, right?
Plus your intelligence modifier. Yep.
Yeah. 26.
Okay.
Dang.
So you're able to. There's some vines nearby, and you're able to make a makeshift pair of stilts, and you hand them over to Zoramir.
Here, try these, and then I'll kind of put these straps with the vines, and I'll wrap them around his feet. So try walking around with this. It takes some getting used to, trust me. And then I'll pat the braces on my legs.
Oh, it's much better. I can actually see where we're going now.
So
Thank you, Blaylock.
Zoramir, make an acrobatics check to see how well you can walk around with these on.
21. Sorry, 22.
Okay. So you hop on them, and they're not really tall. It puts you at about the height of everyone else. You're able to get around. You kind of step out into the mud a bit. It's difficult for you, but you're able to move with them.
Hopefully I no longer am slowing this party down.
You weren't slowing us down. There will come a time when you'll bail me out. Just wait.
That was very ominous, Blaylock. Do you anticipate something bad happening?
There seem to be another pit, or maybe some other kind of treacherous obstacle that I may fall in headlong again.
Well, since I've met you, we've run into a lot of bad things.
That is true.
We should not stay around here. If you're ready, we need to move.
Keep going.
By
Yeah.
your lead.
All right.
Yeah.
23.
Okay.
Is this nighttime?
No, it's still day.
Still day. Okay.
Each time you move for about an hour's worth of time through this, just trying to get your bearings, trying to find something. What you see is a lot of dead. There's a lot of mushrooms and mold, and you don't really hear many creatures. An occasional crow will call in the distance. Some constant skittering going on from unknown creatures. Some even sound spider-like. The occasional croak of frogs. As you're moving along, you kind of walk into an area that's a bit more marshy than what you're used to, and you really sink in. And as you go to take a breath, you feel something in your mouth, and you kind of look around and you hear the buzzing, and you've walked into just a massive cloud of mosquitoes, and you feel them biting at you, and you're slapping at them. And I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Nat 20.
Nice.
19.
You're really slapping those mosquitoes.
17.
9.
Okay.
9.
I asked before. I don't know if you heard me. Do I recognize the area we're in at all?
No, you guys have never been anywhere on this island except the places you've been previously, so it doesn't look too familiar.
Do we know we're still on the island?
You don't. All right, when you're ready to move forward.
Any sign of solid ground?
It's still a lot of swamp. Some of it's not so bad. Others of it's pretty deep.
That was a 24.
Okay.
Jeez. Don't use up all the good throws or rolls at the beginning of the game.
You just blow it all right now.
So as you're walking, you kind of find some higher ground that's not so deep in mud. And as you look down, you see some small humanoid footprints in the mud heading a direction.
Define humanoid. Like, or do they look like lizard paws, or they look like what?
Roll an investigation.
I will assist. So do so with advantage.
9.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I'd like to investigate to see if they're fresh.
I'm gonna continue swatting mosquitoes.
13. That's with advantage.
Okay. So you look down. They do look fairly fresh. While they are humanoid, they're not humans' tracks. It looks the 13. It looks like whatever it has probably has a foot that's clawed in some manner. Not too much unlike your own, but smaller.
Does it
Would
appear
they-
to be traveling alone?
There's several of them, so it's probably not alone.
Guys, we might be heading towards some enemies, towards a problem. These prints seem like lizard-esque creatures. Not exactly sure what they are, but not sure if we should head in the same direction or not.
All right. Can I focus my survival checks on finding something somewhere that we can lay low, heal up a little bit?
I mean, you can kind of look around for that while you're moving for some place stable.
While I'm that's my main goal right now.
Okay.
An 11.
Okay. You move further in. Are you following the footprints?
I'm not going directly in that direction. I want to kind of cat-a-corner it, maybe at an angle.
Keeping them in sight?
Yeah.
Okay. You move forward. Again, you're really getting into some deeper muck. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw. Zormir, make it with advantage.
17.
21.
6.
Oh, thank God I had advantage on that. 20.
6.
6. Grovile, all this moving through the muck has kind of really pushed on you, being on kind of the wizard side and a little weaker. You now have 1 rank of exhaustion,
Okay.
which means disadvantage on all ability checks, including initiative and all that stuff.
Okay.
So as you guys look around, you see Grovile kind of struggling getting through the muck, and you look up at him, and typically he's as cheerful as could be for a lizard man, but he looks like there's some sweat forming on him. It looks like he's really struggling.
Grovile, How are you? And you look terrible. Here, grab onto my shoulder.
I'm okay. I'll make through it. It's not the first time I've trudged through a swamp. I can manage. I'll be all right.
Well, try if you need to use this bow to keep your to steady yourself with. And I'll hand him my staff.
Okay.
I'll take the staff, and thank you. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
All right, Scar.
Natural 20.
All right. So you press on for a while, and you start seeing it's getting darker, for sure. It's not dark. It's not quite dusk yet, but it is dark. The sky is darkening. And as you walk for a while, you eventually get into some more solid ground, and the trees start coming up.
Sorry.
And the trees actually have leaves on them, which is a welcome sight. And it kind of passes into a small clearing. And what you notice looking around is the trees seem to be broken down a bit, as if the area was intentionally set up that way. A larger body of water lies in its center. You see it kind of bubbling a little bit from time to time, like a muck. You can hear the sounds of frogs and crickets everywhere. And for the first time since you've been kind of here, you just feel a light breeze on your face.
Anywhere that we can have a structure towards our back.
It's still pretty open. If you were to set up camp, you're going to be able to see it.
Scar, do you think I can make us some light?
I would low dim at best.
I'm going to take the lizard skull that I've had in my inventory forever, and I'm going to etch a rune in it and magical tinkering, and it'll just emit a light 5-foot radius, and then 5-foot radius. So it says bright light for 5 foot and then dim light for an additional 5 feet. How is this?
I know where we're at. People will see us coming. Well, we can try to set up camp here and just be on the lookout. This seems... Are the trees like huge trees that have fallen over, or?
They're bigger, but they kind of represent normal sized trees that you've seen. It's like something's passed through here.
Just knocking over shit, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like a place we don't want to stay.
All
How
right.
big is the body of water?
It's pretty good sized.
I'm gonna go over to the water's edge and kind of peer and see if I see anything.
So let's let me help you picture this a little better.
By the way, we don't see your face or your screen right now.
I'm
don't
getting
see
there.
it either.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Give me a second, please. There you go. All right. So you walk over to the water's edge. Roll a perception check.
Uh, 22.
Okay. You're seeing a lot of bubbles, and as you kind of watching it and kind of getting caught up in what everything is around you. And then you see a bubble in the center, and it's like bloop. It pops, bloop, and something floats up. And all of a sudden, this massive toad, larger than you, rises up out of the water.
Oh, God.
The mud starts running down its face, its eyes blinking away the filth of the water. It just looks at you with this deadpan stare and kind of looks over the rest of you that are there. You just hear... Roll initiative.
I want to try and hop on its back to ride it through the woods.
You can certainly try.
All right. 20 to 25? 15 to 20?
19.
18.
18.
And then there's Grovile. Grovile, what'd you have?
9.
You're rolling like a champ tonight, buddy.
Fine. Well, I mean, 2 rolls. Bound to roll pretty bad.
All right. Zoromir?
How far am I from
Pretty much right next to him.
him? Okay, I am going to slash him with my short sword.
Not the new dagger you have.
Oh, I guess I could use that. Dagger of Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Did we fix that, or is that
You did
still
not.
broken?
It still gets a 25% reduction on damage, but
Okay, what is special about this dagger?
you're going to have to look that up in the off time.
Okay, I'll use the Dagger of Venom and try to attack him with that.
All right.
That is going to be 23.
Oh, yeah. That hits.
And then, oh gosh, I missed my real dice. 9 points of damage.
All right.
Then, as my bonus action, I'd like to try to do cunning action to disengage.
Okay. All right. 1 second on that.
As a heads up, guys, you might still have temp hit points from the last battle. You'll need to take those off.
You still have them till a long rest.
I thought it was an hour.
Is it just an hour?
Hold on, let me look.
I already took mine off.
All right. Roll a d20. Zoromir? Yep.
Okay. Do I?
No, those are
Natural
no,
one.
those are permanent.
All right.
Okay.
Get that deck out. It would be for a spell attack.
For a spell attack.
Oh man,
That's what it counts as.
Okay. Spoiled. If the attack deals poison damage, food eaten by others within 20 feet of you will be vomited up 2d10 minutes later for 1d4 days.
That is amazing. It is not
Was it a poison
poison.
attack?
It wasn't a poison attack. So
Okay, well, if it doesn't count, we have to go to the next one.
go to the next one. Yep. That's fantastic, though. Is that where you want to move, by the way, while he's looking that up? You disengaged, so how far away did you want to move?
Yeah, that's fine. So
Okay.
he gets advantage or something here? Is that what this is? Or he gets
There's a failure, so something's happening.
Your spell attack bonus and spell save DC are lowered by 1d4 for 1d4 rounds.
Okay, so they're lowered by 1 for 1 round.
what was it?
Lowered by 1 round, your spell attack. So,
Okay.
all right, Scar, you are up. So you slashed at the frog, caught it a little bit, and then attempted to run away. And everyone else, what you see is as Zormir moves away, you just see this greenish purple cloud form slightly at the feet of the frog and then quickly dissipate.
Okay. I am readying my vicious longbow.
Okay.
24 to hit.
That would hit.
For 8 damage. And I will take 1 step back.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
All right, Blaylock, you are up.
All right. Well, I don't have many options here. So, what does it take for me to No, I haven't. I don't even. Yeah. I'm going to. Where are you? Where are you? I'm going to. What? How far am I away from him?
20 feet.
20 feet. Well, Goring Rush. Immediately after you make a dash action on your turn, move at least 20 feet. You can make 1 melee attack with your horns as a bonus action.
If you want to.
I'm going to.
Okay. So, let's see.
Is any in the water?
He is. You're kind of splashing down into it as he hits. He's right on the edge there. And make your attack.
9. What's my modifier? My melee, is that just strength?
Yep.
Well, that's 9.
Okay, so you charge forward and let out your best bull sound. It sounds kind of weak, and yeah, and he just kind of moves to the side as you step into the muck and stumble forward, and you miss him with your gore.
All right. So since that was a bonus action, I'm going to follow that up with a lightning grasp.
That it takes an action to do your dash.
What?
Yeah, only
Well,
rogues get it as a bonus action.
I thought if I move up to 20 feet, right?
But you specifically said you took your dash.
I have to use a dash action.
Yeah.
That's lame. Okay. Well, that was epic.
It did great.
All right. The toad looks down at you, and it just opens this gaping maw of a mouth to take a bite at you. And what the rest of you see is the mouth comes and closes around Blaylock and picks him up into the air. And all you see is Blaylock's legs kicking. You take 5 points of piercing damage and 5 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And you are now grappled and restrained.
Actually, I'm dead.
You're
He's
unconscious.
down. Still
But-
grappled and restrained.
Still grappled and restrained, yep. Grovile, you are up.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Firebolt. I'm gonna take a step back towards Scar.
Okay.
But I don't want to be in the space next to him. I want to be, yeah, there.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Firebolt at the frog.
All right.
All right, so that's and 6 is 14.
That hits.
Good. Do I roll with disadvantage on damage rolls as well?
No, because they're not ability checks.
Okay. For 6 points of damage.
All right. So firebolt arcs out and slams into the giant toad. You hear it sizzle as the fire burns the wet flesh, and you see the flesh kind of blacken around on it, and you get a small hint of that burnt flesh smell.
Smells good.
That was 9 points of damage, you said?
6.
6 points? Okay.
I mean, I'll take 9.
All right, Zoramir, you are up.
Okay, I am. How far am I from him?
That
should be good.
10 feet or so.
I'm going to take a whiff at throwing my returning dagger at him.
Okay.
That is 12.
Do have your crossbow. But 12 hits.
12 hits, okay. Then it's going to be 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And then as my bonus, I'm going to do my cunning action to hide.
Okay, roll the hide, which is sneak.
Natural 20.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Roll d20.
Yep.
For what?
For the other thing.
$19.
Okay, that will hit.
Okay.
Roll 2d6.
Didn't realize I had a roll to hit that one.
Yeah, you do.
7.
2d6 was a 7.
Don't judge.
Ouch.
I already rolled a natural 1 tonight.
All right. So you guys see Zoramir. He throws the dagger. As soon as it pierces into the flesh of the frog, you see it dissipate and appear back in his hand. He then seems to just disappear. But this doesn't surprise you as he hides all the time. But as he disappears, again, this purplish green haze kind of rises up, and you see it puncture into the frog, and you see its veins starting to blacken as it moves through its body. The toad is looking pretty bad, starting to leak out fluids from different areas as it just has this blank look as it's on its face and Blaylock's legs hanging out.
Oh, he's still in his mouth?
Yep. Blaylock, make a death saving throw. Blaylock.
He's muted and he doesn't know.
9 again.
All right, that's one fail. All right. It is the frog's turn.
Sorry, you skipped me. It's my turn.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
I don't know if this changes anything, but I was supposed to add +5 to that last one.
It doesn't change anything. Still hits.
+5 to the damage.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's fine. Scar, you are up.
right, that was an 18 to hit
That hits.
for 10 damage.
How do you want to do it?
Oh, right through the eye socket, I would assume.
All right. So you guys see Scar. He pulls back, eyes it up, takes time to focus, and just trying to miss not hitting. He doesn't want to hit Blaylock, and he looses an arrow. All of a sudden, thunk, right in there, and the frog starts spasming a bit, and it kind of rolls forward, and Blaylock rolls out of its mouth onto the ground, and it's dead.
All right. I run up to Blaylock and I dig through his stuff because I believe.
He has
Saw
more
him.
health potions.
Oh, he doesn't. Well, I'm gonna try and do it anyway because I don't know that.
Okay.
You should. We discussed it. We had that conversation that he used the last one in the room.
Oh, that's right.
I
I'm
do
gonna
have
use-
a potion of healing, which I will go use on Blaylock as a thank you for him making the stilts for me.
Okay.
I have here that I have 2 left, but maybe I didn't update them. Did we get any from that? We didn't get any from that
Nope.
board, did we? All right, I'm gonna.
I used one, you used one, and we used one on Zoramir, I believe,
Got it.
last session.
Yeah, just make sure you keep those updated because those can get away from you, just like arrows and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Zoramir, remove one of yours and do the thing. Was it 2d4 plus 4, something like that?
I do.
You're breaking up pretty bad.
I am?
No.
Nice. He sounds good to me.
Oh, maybe it was with me.
All right.
Oh, do I do the 2d4?
Yeah.
That is going to be 5, and what's the modifier?
+4, so 9.
4? 9.
All right. So Blaylock, you feel the liquid pass over your lips, and some of your wounds begin to close. And as you open your eyes, you're just covered in this mucousy slime, and you feel ribs cracked from the pressure of the jaws. But you're awake and lying on the ground.
That
Right.
frog had a little bit more bite than I anticipated.
I would like to go up to the frog and see if I can get anything from it. I want to carve it up.
All right, what do you want to get from it?
I want to look to see if it has any poison glands, and I want to get frog legs for food.
All right, roll a survival.
Disadvantage would be 18.
Wow.
I know.
It's looking at the glands. It doesn't as much have a specific poison gland like a snake would have a venom sac. It's just something that's kind of naturally there. The legs, they're a bit big to carry off as frog legs, but you can carve some
Cut a
meat.
portion off.
Yeah, you can carve some meat. So let's say you have 15 pounds of frog meat, raw frog meat from the legs.
And my scorching ray didn't cook any of that stuff. Can I specifically aim for the spot that hit, or no?
No, it's not really kind of like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, while he's doing that, I'm going to walk up to the frog and cut off one of its toes.
Okay. Easy enough. You carve off one of its toes and put it with everything else. So you guys are kind of sitting there taking a short breather after going through this, and 1 second.
Guys, everybody,
Yeah.
quiet.
Did you hear something, Scar?
I'm gonna try to slowly make my way around, trying to not be obvious that I'm doing it,
Okay.
and see what I find.
All right. Roll a stealth.
That'd be a 26.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So Scar kind of moves around. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Am I done getting all that stuff?
This would be going on while you're getting your stuff. It's going to take you a bit to get the frog and stuff.
Okay. And I'm just gonna just kind of. He said to stop, so I'm gonna freeze in place and just kind of sit there and wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick my head into the water and see if I see anything underwater.
Okay. You stick your head in the water and open your eyes. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
You get pink eye.
18.
Okay. When you stick your head in there, you can't see anything. I mean, the water's dark and murky. There's definitely particulates in it. Your eyes burn a bit, and as you raise your head out, they're red. But yeah. So Blaylock, what are you doing?
Trying to get to dry land and looking at my surroundings for more frogs that might eat me.
Okay.
If any of you thirsty, I advise against drinking this water.
Alright, so
Scar, how can you find your way around this place? I can't make heads or tails of direction, nothing.
So when you say that, you turn to look at him to hear his response. You can't see him. It's just like he just disappeared.
What happened to Scar? And then I'll walk over to his where I last saw him, or thought I saw him.
I've had a feeling he would leave us the way he joined us.
Wow.
Ouch.
Can I look around, do an investigate where I last saw him?
You can do a perception check. Yeah.
Beautiful. Come on. There we go. 12 and 14.
You can't see him. He rolled like a 26 on his sneak. He's pretty.
Guys, I don't see Scar anywhere. Where could he be? I'm gonna start to panic because I've just been eaten by a frog, and I don't know where I'm at. And one of our party has just disappeared.
In a loud voice, you hear, "Can I help you?"
I'm gonna jump.
All right. So from the bushes, you hear some commotion just to the north, and as you hear that, you turn and you see Scar is standing by 3 kobolds, and they jump around, and they have their eyes get huge. Oh, help you with what? You guys are great.
Kobolds? What are those?
They are short, lizard-like creatures with scales. Um, as you look at them, they seem to have basic weapons and rudimentary armor and things on. But they're just right now they're completely focused on Scar.
So, were you just waiting for the scraps?
Scraps? No, not at all. You killed Maktu. That's you deserve a great honor.
Do you know these people?
Would I have knowledge? I mean, as a hunter, would I know anything about these creatures?
Roll a history.
Yeah. Well, not bad. Let's see here.
Of course. Of course. I hope
18.
it's a net one.
That's funny. You've heard of kobolds. You know they're very clan-like, and they live in darker areas. There's good ones and bad ones.
So I take it you knew this creature.
Maktu, he eats everything. He takes all our food. We're just a hunting party. We have a village and we're just trying to keep him alive. And you killed him, so now we can hunt again.
Village, you say? How far off from here?
The one of them looks at you. He's a bit thicker. The one that's been talking is kind of scrawny. He's shorter than the other two. He's got yellow scales. You notice his claws are a little bit shorter. But the one next to him, he's thicker with red scales, and he just has a loincloth on and a rudimentary spear. He's got one tooth that protrudes from the left side of his mouth, and on the other side of his mouth is just like a constant stream of drool that keeps coming out. The village not far. Maybe before darkness come.
Isn't it still already dark?
It's getting dark.
Oh, getting dark. Okay.
So, great honor, huh? We've taken out your enemy.
Yes. We must go back to the tribe elders and tell them of your great power. You must come. Food, shelter, safety, all promised to you.
Gentlemen.
Can we hear all this going on?
You hear some talking.
Can we understand them?
They're speaking common, but they're still pretty far away. So you hear bits and pieces.
Inside check on them.
Sure.
24.
With what you know about kobolds, they're not as inclined to lie. If they say they're offering something, they probably are.
Well, while this is all going on, I'm gonna start sneaking around these kobolds and try and make eye contact with Scar to see if he's thinking of attacking them.
Okay, roll a sneak.
He gets advantage too.
17.
You do get advantage
do.
because of your boots.
That got me one higher. 18.
Okay, so you're able to sneak. And roll for me a performance to see how well you can get Scar's attention without alerting.
7.
Okay, so Scar, you notice Zormir kind of moving behind these kobolds and trying to do something to get your attention, but you're not sure what he's trying to say. He's making a bunch of hand gestures, and you're just kind of confusing whatever he's doing.
Okay. I tell the 3 to move forward towards the group.
Okay, so
If,
you just calling out to him.
Yep.
for
So you-
us to move towards him.
No, I'm taking the 3 kobolds. I'm behind them.
Okay,
Okay.
you're gonna
So I'm
take him back
taking-
to the group.
Yeah, I'm taking them back to the group.
Okay, so you see Scar walking with these 3 kobolds. He said one with yellow scales, the other with red. The third one is quite a bit more slender than the other 2. Has a grayish tone to the scales, and you notice the end of its tail is kind of shriveled up compared to the other 2.
Do you have any names?
Oh, of course, I am Short Claw. And I'm Dribble. And I'm Burnt Tail.
Okay.
It's nice
These are
to
names I
meet
can
you.
remember.
You
Yeah.
can call me Scar. And I will proceed to tell them. Apparently, this creature has killed many of their kind, stolen food. They want to take us back to their village, reward us for killing this thing. They have promised food, shelter, and safety.
Do you trust them?
I have not found any reason.
You can trust me.
They seem harmless enough.
And you notice Short Claw's intently looking at you, more so than he has been.
Looking at me, or
Yes.
oh, have you seen my kind before?
Well, your name is Scar, and you see, I'm Short Claw, and he holds up his hand and see Short Claw, and Dribble, and he kind of points right at the side of his mouth at the drool that's coming out of his mouth, and then where's your scar?
I kind of ruffle the fur from my left eye, and there's a huge gash going from the top of my skull.
Now I see it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a family name. Apparently not.
No.
What?
Hmm.
What's your?
Normally, we are like these kobolds. We are named for various things. The Grimclaw is the clan name.
And you're big. What? Kind of big. You're skinny. And he's looking at Blaylock. What do they call you?
They call me Blaylock, and I'll wave the little lizard skull that I had in my hand that's illuminating. And you are Short Claw?
I'm Short Claw. Where's your Blaylock?
I'm not
I just
from around
chuckle.
here.
I never heard one like that. But everyone, come with us. We'll take you to village. Speak with the elders. Lots of food and meat.
Well, boys,
I look
don't
at them.
think we have much options left. There's not been any real good place for us to rest.
I don't care to meet another frog. I'm gonna stare at that frog again and shudder.
I'll look at the guys really suspiciously and be like, "Doesn't look like we have much of an option. So lead us."
You come with me. You like food that we'll eat. And
I like most food.
they start walking off. Everybody following?
Yeah.
So they take you on some paths, and you walk in less muck than you've walked all day. They seem to know their way through this area quite well. The trees start to get a lot more dense and not dead, which is beneficial. Um, but some of the parts they squeeze through, because they are shorter, they kind of go through. And Blaylock, you have to really squeeze to get through and duck down, and you get your horns caught on occasion on a branch and a tree. And eventually the trees, they start to open up into a circular clearing. In the middle of the clearing is some nice grass. But the trees are quite large, and some of them seem to be hollowed out for the use of homes and places of business. You smell smoke in the air, and the fresh smell of cooked meat, and the sound of a small brook can be heard in the distance. You see kobolds of all shapes and sizes scurrying about, seeing new adventures enter the camp. And Shortclaw, though he's been kind of hunched over this whole time, he straightens up as big as he can, and you see him stick his chest out, and he just starts doing this strut inside the camp. Everyone! The heroes! The slayers of Maktu! And everyone stops and turns. You just hear all these cheers and shouts of the camp. And Shortclaw turns to the other two kobolds and, you, go tell the elders they're here. I'll take them around and get him some food. So Dribble and Burnt-Tail leave and start heading up a rudimentary pathway that's been carved into the trees. You all notice that the trees are so thick here that even when you look upward, it's hard to see the stars as night has fallen. It's just a thick grove here. So Shortclaw takes you to the main center area. You see a very basic bar scene cut out here with a few tables. There's a oven in the back where you see some sort of meat on a spit roasting. The smell of spices and meat fill your ear or your nose, not your ears. And behind this counter space or table where there's fresh cuts of meat laying out and drink, you see quite a bit shorter a kobold running back and forth between the table and the ovens here. Blue scales, kind of nicely dressed for a kobold.
Shortclaw, how long has your clan been here?
Here, well, my family has been here for several generations. But things have been getting bad around here for us, and that's why I'm glad you guys came. Maybe you can help us.
How long is a generation to you?
Well, let's see. There was my dad, and then there was his dad, and then his dad.
40,
his
50
dad, his dad. It's somewhere back there. His dad, several dads.
Was your clan around for the Dragon Purge?
Oh, we've heard stories of that long time ago. That's way, way far away from here.
I'm going to look back and forth between the two very quizzically. Do I know anything about this Dragon Purge?
Well, it's the Purge.
That's what happened in the desert. Yeah.
Okay. That Dragon Purge. Okay. I didn't.
Yeah, we've been in the Swamp of Lost Hope for as long as I can remember.
Swamp of Lost Hope. How far is your home from the desert?
3-4 weeks ride.
3-4 weeks. Jesus.
Ride. So you have animals to carry you?
We used to. Till the
Was it
drippies ate 'em all.
Matu?
The drippies.
Oh, drippies.
The
Oh,
Matu?
let's not worry ourselves with that right now. Why don't you go get something from Squat? He'll take care of you.
I assume Squat is the short blue fella over there.
He takes you over to Squat. And, he's still got his chest popped out and puts his hand on the counter and kind of leans in and,
No, thank you.
Squat, you take care of these folks.
I'm good.
Give them all the food and drink they can take.
Well, I have 2 of them. Are you gonna eat later?
And Squat looks at him and he looks at you. Okay.
Oh, I appreciate it. This is a great kindness.
So what can I get for you?
Anything. I'm looking over. Just pointing at the first thing that I see, meat-wise.
No problem. And he goes and gets some of it and hands it to you, puts it on a plate. And anything to drink with that?
Chef's choice.
So he goes back and comes out with some sort of brownish liquid and hands it to you.
Does it smell rancid?
It's not good, but he looks at you. Finest ale here.
Oh, thank you. I turn to the others and I guess we eat and wait.
I'll pull up a seat.
I'll pull up a seat.
Okay. So y'all sit down at the table. Short Claw himself even goes over and gets some food and sits down at the table like at a lunchroom, just smiles as much as a kobold can smile. So, you got any adventures? And he just kind of cradles his head in his hands and stares at you.
Well,
Can I
to
order
get
some food first?
Tell me, what do you recommend to eat before we regale you with a tale?
Well, anything that Squat has, it's all good.
But what do you recommend?
What Squat has? We don't
I just
ask.
stare into it.
We don't ask what kind of meat it is. All we know is we eat it.
Squat, I will take a plate of whatever it is you're serving.
Do you want it warm, cooked, raw?
I will take it warm.
So he comes out and brings you a plate of food, looks at everyone else. Could I get you anything else?
Just an ale.
Okay.
I don't find myself with much of an appetite right now.
Okay.
I am in need of some substance. Do you have anything that's still dripping?
Still dripping. Yeah, I have something back there. Let me go get it.
I'm gonna look at Zormir after he makes that comment. I'm gonna look at my hands, and there's still a little goo on there from the frog, and I'm gonna wipe them on my legs.
Scar's just
What?
fucking fistful after fistful of meat in his mouth.
Blaylock, why are you staring at me while you're washing your hands?
Because I realize where we've been, and I'm about to shove food that I don't know in my mouth. But I don't care, because it's been too long since I've last ate.
You're making me uncomfortable. Give me those looks.
So Grovile Squat comes out, and he's got this whitish red marbled meat. Here you go.
How's it smell?
Slightly fish-like, but slightly meat-like. Yeah.
I'll eat it. And after I take my first big bite out of it, I'm gonna ask if he has ask for his strongest drink. What is the strongest thing you have?
Oh, I can go get you something from the back. And he scurries off. And after 5-10 minutes, he comes back with it's a small clay pot. And as you take the top off the pot, there's just a pretty rancid smell coming from the top of it.
Rancid as in it's gone bad, or rancid as in
You're not sure. That's the best we have.
Are we considering this a short rest?
You can, yeah.
All right. I'm rolling 2 times.
Yeah, I'll take advantage of that too. Do I roll with disadvantage on these still, even though we're
No, this is just your health point. Your health.
And
Got it.
I'll and would I lose that
Nope.
that condition? Okay. All right, I'm gonna take a swig out of that thing that he gave me.
Okay. It's strong. It's probably the strongest thing that you have drank in quite some time. It has a slight sweet taste to it, but the back end aftertaste is almost like a vomit of some sort.
Oof. You know, when you gotta have one, you gotta have one. Go ahead and pour myself a real glass of it.
Yeah, so everyone else, you see him pour it out, and it's this blackish liquid. It's thick, and it pours it into the glass, and it's just bubbling slightly. And Squat takes the bottle. Anybody else want some?
I'm good with the ale, thank you.
I'll see it and I'll try it.
All right. He
Just
Hint.
gonna sip it. I'm just gonna sip it.
You take a sip. It's terrible. It's really bad.
And then I'm going to. Well, how many people are looking at me right now?
Pretty much everybody. If you look around the camp, like everyone's watching you. They're very curious as to the new adventurers that are here.
Oh, I'm gonna force it down, and then I'm gonna take a step outside for a moment.
Okay, well everywhere's outside.
Oh, I thought this was.
Oh yeah, I
outside.
thought we were in like a tavern.
No,
Like a
it's
tree or something.
just outside.
All right, I'm gonna
Like
step
a
away for a
tent
moment.
city type situation.
Yeah. Ewok Village for some. Okay, so you just step away from the table for a bit.
Yeah, I'm stepping away from the table. I'm gonna get myself a little bit back in order.
Okay. And Squat looks at Zormir and just has this look on his face like, you want to try some?
My eyes are kind of glazed over. I have the frog's toe from the previous battle, and I'm just kind of staring at it in my hands, just twiddling with it, and completely don't hear him.
Okay. I guess not. So, if you need anything, come see me. And turns and heads back to what he's doing.
Everything all right, Zormir?
Yeah, just trying to see what I can figure out with this toe.
Hey, we haven't really talked much since that last battle, Zormir. I know you guys were busy, but I got you something. and I hand him one of the 2 dragon horns that I got from that dragon.
Okay.
How big is this dragon horn?
I mean, it's carryable in a pouch. It's not huge, maybe a foot long or so.
Okay, this will be a good addition to my collection.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is that from a real dragon?
Yes, little one.
Yeah. Yeah, not a big one. Not a big one.
I'm gonna come back to the table or to the bar, and then with just a sour look on my face.
Okay. You okay, so everyone kind of sees you. You have a pretty terrible look on your face, and you okay?
Smell what he just did.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That liquid, whatever you call it, does not agree with me.
Well, some things aren't for everyone, and I take another sip of my drink.
You just hear a gagging sound.
You know, and he looks over at Zoromir. You know, you could probably trade that stuff to Broken Tooth. He'll probably take that, and you might be able to, I don't know, get some of his cool stuff he has over there.
Let's go speak with Broken Tooth. What could he have?
Or maybe Crooked Scales would want it. She can probably do something with it. She's our village shaman.
Shaman, you say?
Yeah.
Broken tooth, and what? Crooked scales?
Yes. That's what I said.
What kind of goods does Broken Tooth deal with?
Oh, all sorts. I don't know where he finds his stuff. He gets it everywhere. Just for a simple scout like myself, he's much too high priced for me. But they love him around here.
What was the shaman's name?
Crooked Scales.
Crooked Scales.
So, Zoromir, you're gonna just give away that thing that I just gave you? I look at him and I look all sad.
Remember, you slew that dragon, Zoromir.
Oh, I could never give away my trophies, but perhaps gold is a valuable currency here.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk to him about it. I guess.
Not quite sure what they would do with currency of like that nature. They seem more to deal with baubles and trinkets.
It's my kind of trading, though. So
Short Claw. I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna sit with Short Claw.
Oh, hello.
You said you wanted a story.
I would love a story. We don't get out of the swamp much, considering it's our home and, trying to stay alive. And that's usually a pretty high concern, is staying alive. And I like to do that myself. So yeah, any stories you may have?
Well, let me tell you about the orc that took Zoromir's life. That Zoromir, very Zoromir behind you. Well,
So roll a performance.
Okay. -3 on performance. 14.
Oh no.
Okay. So you regale the tale of the orcs and finding Scar, and you see Shortclaw's eyes get big, and he's just completely fixated on your words. You tend to embellish a bit in the story, and he's completely enthralled.
And then he tried to cut off his hand. We still haven't gotten an answer from him about that.
That's unique.
You never
He's
asked
an
about
odd blizzard.
I mean,
Is Grovile still around?
Yeah, you're all right there at the table.
oh, I
Okay.
can hear within
Well,
earshot.
what's a better opportunity than now? Tell us why Zoromir's hand would be such a valuable commodity to you after he was still warm.
And Shortclaw turns to look at Grovile. Yeah, tell us.
Well, we were just in combat, and I wasn't sure how much time we'd have, and it seemed like the way Zoromir treats his enemies after defeating them in battle, he shows them a sign of respect by taking a trinket. So I
Wouldn't
thought,
it be up to the orc to take his hand then?
well, I was going to add his hand to the collection and pay my respects that way. But
Interesting.
Oh, I never intended that to be respect. That is just, it was us dominating the enemies.
well, you should at least say something about that. How is a man supposed to know?
And you can see as each of you speak up, Shortclaw just his head snaps to each one that's talking, and you just back and forth, completely in the conversation.
Well, Grovile, I see that you're not familiar with this culture, but in most cultures, it's not ethical to go cutting off your friend's hands. It is not a sign of respect, but just the opposite.
I haven't spent much time with many people outside of my own kind, so it is duly noted for the next time
Which
that
is why
I should wait for him to be cold at the very least.
So you want me to be dead?
I don't want anyone to be dead. It just happens a lot around me. It just happens all the time, unfortunately.
I guess we're both going to have to take some time to understand each other's culture, because this is an anomaly to me.
So how much time have we spent at this place so far?
You did a short rest, so at least an hour, just sitting here talking and telling stories and eating, and after about an hour and a half or so, you see Dribble and Burnt Tail come up to the table, and Dribble says, "Elders are busy. They'll see you in the morning."
Fair enough.
Were we planning on spending the night here?
I sure wish you would. We got a nice spot over there for visitors, though we haven't really ever had visitors. I'm not sure if we've ever had visitors.
Say, I have not spotted any safer place than here.
There are a few things that we need to look over as well, like part of that dragon's hoard that we're carrying.
Old, I kind of just glance at him like maybe not in front of.
You got stuff from the dragon? Ooh, can I see? I bet Broken Tooth would like to see.
Yeah.
I'll show him one of the blue gems that we picked up in that room with the where we mixed the water.
Crystals.
Yeah.
So you pull out one of the crystals and hold it up, and it's almost like a Disney cartoon where you see the reflection of the crystal in his eyes, and his eyes get big. Oh, what do you think that's worth?
I'm not sure. Why don't you take it for now?
And
Give it to him?
he reaches out and takes it, and Come, if you got more, come see Broken Tooth.
Yes, but you make sure to keep that because
Oh, I'm keeping it.
came to us.
I'm keeping it.
You have given us rest.
No, I'm keeping it. I'm
It's
and
mine.
and he puts it, he shoves it into a pouch he has on his hip.
Yes, I think we should probably speak more in private settings.
I
Good
agree with
idea.
the Scar.
That was foolish of me. We don't know these people, and they could very well rob us in the night.
Agreed.
So, where can I take you next? Are you ready to lie down? You want to see anything else of the village, or?
Should
It's
we
nighttime, so nothing's open, right?
seem
Yes.
consistent that we speak to Broken Tooth? Should we see
Yeah,
what
so
Broken Tooth has to offer?
No, it's even though it's night, it's not a normal town. So I mean, the shops that are there, that's where they live. It's like operating out of their tree. So
I
Okay.
think a layout of your village would do us just fine.
okay, so imagine everybody finishes their meals and drinks, and he kind of takes you around, and every other tree he describes who lives there and just gives you like he was introducing you to the entire village. You estimate that there's, from what you've seen, there's probably only 30 or 40 of them that actually live in this area. So there's not a whole lot of them. Eventually, you come upon a tree that's been hollowed out, and just an initial look around, you see just a lot of old swords and various forms of armor that are rusted out, things like that, and an older looking kobold comes out. He's got a patch over one eye. He's got dark green and yellow scales. So, what have you brought me, Shortclaw?
And this is Broken Tooth.
And Shortclaw says, "Everybody, I want you to meet Broken Tooth." And he just kind of nods his head. Are you the adventurers that I heard come into the camp?
It would be us.
Well,
I hear that you are a purveyor of goods.
I have a variety of various goods and things to sell. And he reaches down and grabs a short sword, and the blade is rusted, the metal is pitted. It looks like it's been sitting in water for 1,000 years. It's in terrible shape. Look at this fine quality blade that could slay a dragon on its own. And he's holding it up to you, and I would say I've got the stuff you need. And there's a variety of things all over the shop, in quotation marks.
The floor.
Well,
Well,
I think
I
I've
have a
seen what I
few of
needed.
those as well, and I'll pull out the two short swords that we've been holding on to since the work days.
So he looks at him, and you see him reach up, and he actually lifts up the eye patch, and his eye's just fine underneath. There is a nice quality blade. And he puts it back down.
I think I've seen what I've needed to see.
I pick up the rusty sword and look at it for a second and kind of grimace and then kind of wander off.
Okay.
How much would you give me for these two short swords?
For short swords of that fine quality, I'd happily give you 5 gold pieces for each one.
And I would happily put them back in my bag because these are of finer quality than that one you showed us.
Yeah, quality is in the eye of the beholder.
I behold that rust has taken hold of those swords, and it will take quite a bit of work to get them in working order again. How about 7 gold per?
To buy yours?
To buy mine, 7 gold per sword.
Make a persuasion check.
-1. 11.
6 gold.
Deal.
You selling both of them?
Selling both of them.
So he takes both of them. He reaches into a pouch that seems to be in quite a precarious location behind him. You hope it's not where you think it is. And he pulls out some gold and drops it in your hand and takes the swords. And you see him go into the tree and move some things around and make a makeshift display to kind of show these off, and sets them up there on the as a display. Thank you for the business.
Thank you. Do you have anything else to offer?
I have many things. Look around.
Okay, and I'm going to look around. What do I see?
Do a perception check. It's a mess, so you've got to actively look.
Great. 5.
5. It's such a mess, it's hard for you to glean what is around there. You see other things around, but you can't really make it out because stuff's sitting on top of other things.
Can I cast a ritual detect magic to see if I detect anything magical amongst this pile?
So you sit down and start scribing in the dirt and talking amongst yourself. He gets this puzzled look on his face, and he looks down at, hey, what's the cow doing?
I'm leaning up against the door to the shop or whatever, the tree. He tends to go off on his little incursions. Just let him do his thing. It's not hurting anybody.
Is he praying?
I'm drawing runes in the dirt.
I kind of take my claw and start picking that whatever meat out of my teeth.
So after about 10 minutes, you stand up. That was a nice long prayer. I'm sure your God is very happy. And as you look into the shop, you see a couple things glowing back at you.
So, I'd like to go over to those. What is glowing?
You see a small ring that's glowing, and you see 2 sticks that you would guess are a type of wand that are glowing.
So, Broken Tooth, how much for this stick you have lying about casually?
One second. Sticks. I forgot I had them. 50 gold pieces each.
For a stick?
Yeah. That's not just any stick. Those are magic sticks.
What kind of magic?
Oh, don't lean it on me. I just go by what I'm told. I don't know what kind of magic is in those sticks.
The other items were the rings?
There was a ring, yes.
A ring.
I'm in there with them, right?
You're there with him. You see Blaylock just kind of shuffling through some stuff, and you hear what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. And
I go up to them and
much? Oh, sorry.
I'll I'll go up to him and say, "You believe everything that you're told?
Give
Pretty
me a
much.
So you're saying that this is a magic stick, and you're just gonna try and sell it to us for $50? I'm gonna try and kind of intimidate him a little bit.
All right, roll your intimidation.
14.
Well, I would, but I'd sell it for 60 to you.
I just kind of lowly remember we're guests here.
In a...
Sir,
Okay.
how much? Oh, go ahead.
No,
How
go ahead.
much for this ring?
That ring. You know what? I had that when I was just a little whelp. I didn't even know it was still here. This, and he holds it up and he kind of wipes it off. He's holding it in his hand, turning it back and forth. This here, it's magic too. 150 gold pieces.
And what does that do since you used it as a child?
Oh, I've had it since I was a child. I don't know what it does.
Jesus.
All right, I'll walk up to him. I'll ask him, "Can I see this for a second?"
If you buy it, you can see it all you want.
Which one of us has the gem of summoning dark creatures that will turn around and eat us?
That's me.
And I'm gonna go to Grovile. Grovile, may I see that gem that you have?
You want to use it now?
No. I'd like to see if we can sell it.
These guys don't even know how to use magic. They won't have any value for this.
That's true, but with a little encouragement, we might be able to pick up. I have a feeling that these items here may be of value.
Well, if I could get my hands on one, I can tell you what it does. But
I don't
seems
think
to
that
be a
they'll
bit-
allow that right now.
Probably not.
Especially after you tried to intimidate him over a stick.
He says a stick's magic and is trying to sell it to us for $50.
The stick
and
is
it could just
magic.
It could just be a stick.
It's not just a
Yes,
stick.
but it's valuable to him who's
It is
selling
valuable
it
to me.
us.
I can tell you what it does if you just give it to me for like 2 seconds.
It's a magic stick.
Then he may up the price. This is a gamble.
You do realize you just said all of that right in front of me.
And
I
you,
know.
you turn and look, and he's just right there beside you, like looking back and forth, just like Short Claw was when you were talking at the table.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I want you to hear this.
I'm gonna look at him and say,
You're being
"You didn't hear
ridiculous.
that."
He's being ridiculous. You can hear him. He won't even let us figure out what this is.
May I
well,
please
I just walk away.
have the gem?
I just throw the gem over my shoulder and let it hit the ground and walk away.
Ooh, that's a pretty rock.
Well, good sir, how about we trade?
Okay, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking those 2 sticks and that ring for this gem.
He gets real close to you, lifts up his eye patch again, studies the gem. That's quite nice. Yeah, that's... You have yourself a deal with that one. The people of Portstown will definitely be interested in this when I go out trading. So
Whatever you do, don't use it.
So he goes back and grabs both sticks in the ring and just kind of shoves them into you and holds his hands out cupped for the gem.
I'll hand him the gem.
He takes the gem. That is nice. And takes it over and sets it in a steamed plate. I might have to clean up this place a bit so people can see that. Or at least I trade it later on when I can make my next trip.
Here, Grovile, and then I'll give him the 2 sticks.
Okay.
Are they separate entities, or do I have to identify each of them separately, or just one at a time?
One at a time.
All right,
He's just doing this like right in front of the shop, right in front of everybody.
I walked away.
know I
so
said maybe
walked away.
we were more private.
I'm not over by the shop anymore. I walked away in frustration. So if he's coming to me to see what these are, we're not in the shop anymore.
Still have all these creatures looking at us.
Yeah, the whole village is pretty much watching everything you guys do because they don't get a lot of folks.
And I look at Blaylock and I'm like, I don't know what that gem did, but are you sure it was wise to just hand it over to a simpleton and then give him the warning of don't use it?
Dan's got a point. First thing that happens when someone tells me not to do something, I just do it.
We had no plans of using it, and I have a good feeling about these items that we found.
Well, speak for yourself. You had no intention of using it. I would use it if we needed to.
So is there anything else I can help you with here?
I don't think any of us are even there anymore, so.
I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out with old Broken Tooth. Well, sir, I think since my friends have left, I will join them. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure the same. Thanks for the trade. Thanks, Broken Tooth. It's always nice to do business with you. And
Add those 2 mystery wands to our inventory.
so Shortclaw comes over and
Don't forget the ring.
Yep, and the ring.
forget
Yeah,
the
I have the ring, and then he has the 2 wands or 2 sticks.
you guys want to go see Crooked Scales, or are you ready for bed?
Well, I thought she was going to be busy until morning.
No, that's the elders.
Oh, my mistake.
I want to see that lady.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see what she has to offer.
So you walk for a little bit more toward the entrance of where you came into the grove at, and you see a tree, and things are carved around it and etched into it. There's a few wind chimes clanging there in the outside of her hole. You see various plumes of smoke coming out of the inside, and when you get close, a rather rotund, smaller kobold comes out, brown and red scales. When you see her, one eye is noticeably bigger than the other, and she doesn't have all her teeth. What did you bring me this time, Shortclaw? Oh, these are the adventurers. I can see that. So, what can I help you with?
It is a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
And
What kind of goods do you deal with?
she kind of waddles over there and grabs your hand and starts shaking it in a vigorous manner. It's a pleasure to meet you too. Yes. Has anyone ever told you you're kind of cute? I can potions. I got potions.
Thank you, I suppose.
So, what? Got all kinds of liquid potions. You drink them. You put them in other people's food. What do you need?
Potions, did
Well-
you say? What kind of potions do you have?
Well, I got healing potions and I got all sorts of different things. I have potions of acid, but I wouldn't drink those. I've got poison. I've got stuff to make you really strong. All sorts of things.
Can you identify a couple potions for us?
I can sure try.
Thank
gonna-
you. I'm just curious.
Gonna reach into my bag and grab out my 5 pounds of, at this point, probably quite rancid raptor meat. Throw it on the table. And would you be willing to trade with any of this meat?
Do I look like a butcher to you?
I don't.
You might
Yeah,
have some luck with
potion.
Squad over there, but you're not going to have much luck with me.
I don't deal much with potions. I figured you might be able to use them in ingredients for one of your.
I will say that stuff stinks.
So is that going to be a no?
Thank you. For
That is
identifying
most
that
definitely
for us.
a no.
Okay. I'll put it back in my bag.
So you basically spoon it up with your hand. The meat is rancid at this point. It's been a long time. It's bad. Even Grovile is not real inclined to do anything with it.
He's second guessing giving him that raptor meat.
So what can I do?
How much for a healing potion?
Healing potions are 50 gold pieces.
I'll take 2.
You take 2? Okay. And
How much gold do you have?
kind of, you see her waddle off into the tree and she comes back, one in each hand. They're sloshing about and here you go. Hands them to you.
Okay, and I'll hand her the gold.
Takes. Thank you so much. I always have Broken Tooth run to Portstown for me and give me some supplies, and I'm running low, so this helps a lot.
How far is Portstown from here?
Maybe a week.
Because that's where, well, I know that's where I was heading, but that's where you guys were at, right?
No,
This isn't the main.
this isn't the town that everyone landed at.
Okay.
Would you be willing to do a trade instead of me selling us these healing potions?
What sorts of stuff do you got?
Pull out one of the green gems that I have, and I say, I will trade you one of these for a healing potion.
This is one of the crystals from the cave.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me take a look at this. Out of a pouch, she pulls. It looks like a monocle of some sort, but it doesn't look like it was made for her. And she puts it on her big eye, and it just makes her eye look bigger from where you're at. So it's just this huge eye on one side, and she's looking at it. Oh, crap. These are poison crystals. What would I do with a poison crystal?
I mean, you said you had potions of poison.
I do have potions of poison, but these only react with a special kind of water.
Do you
Okay.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen these
yeah.
in a very long time, though. Very long time. Oh no, this water comes from the desert. Like maybe an oasis in the southern desert probably has that kind of water.
So you have no value for something like this.
Not right now.
All right. Can
I'm
I
gonna-
ask her?
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
reach into my bag and grab out the frog toe from the frog that we had just slain, kind of fling off a little bit of the rancid raptor meat off of it. How about for this frog toe of the creature that has tormented your village? Can we
She
get
turns
anything
and
attached?
she turns and looks over there, and you see her eyelid blinking through the giant monocle. No, but again, there's maybe Squat would have a position for that, but not me.
I guess I know the person I need to talk to then. I put it back in my bag.
I'm gonna hand a potion to Grovile and then a potion to Zoramir. Take these just in case I have another run-in with a frog.
I already have one.
Or
Perhaps you should keep one for yourself.
Or a pit?
Or a pit. Okay. So I'll just give one to Grovile.
Okay.
There. Scar, do you have a potion?
I don't. But I think we have other things to figure out before.
That is a good point. We should make haste and break camp. Make camp.
Agreed. We have some private discussions to have.
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and take you to your resting place if you like.
Thank you, Short Claw.
That would be great.
And Crooked Scales looked at it. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Hope to see you soon.
It was a pleasure.
She bumbles back into her tree, and Short Claw takes you over to a nice sized tree. There's a green tarp that's kind of covering the doorway. Private enough. Lifts it up and beckons you all inside. It's rather roomy inside. There's some hay laid out. Some pretty rudimentary blankets and things, places to rest. Well, here you go. I hope this is to your liking.
It'll do just fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He kind of looks down and kicking his feet a little bit. And if you need any company, I mean, I stay by myself, and I don't really have
We'll
any
get it in the morning.
friends.
We will have breakfast with you.
We have had a long journey and have much to discuss, and we
Didn't
will
know if
come
you
and
had
get
any
you in
more.
the morning.
Didn't know if you had any more stories, or
Many stories.
if you just kind of wanted to hang out,
Give us some time.
or just
Okay.
if you wanted to have a hay fight.
I glance over there very menacingly.
Okay, well, I think and you know, like he's been kicking the rocks and the dirt around as he's been saying this, and all right, you know what? Boy, I am tired myself. I'm just gonna head out. I'll see you guys in the morning. Squat probably has breakfast in the morning, so you just head up there.
Again,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
And so he leaves, and you hear him kind of dragging his feet as he walks away from the doorway, but then you hear him scamper off deeper into the night.
Are there people around us, or can we clearly tell that we're kind of?
You're alone. You're the camp is quieted down. It's definitely darker out. It's into the night. But yeah, that's where you're at.
Well, we have much to discuss. Like, what do we do next?
Well,
What?
we can actually discuss about what we found while we were in that cavern for starters.
That
Work our way forward.
is true. I can look at that and discover anything about these items. You decide on what we're going to do.
Well,
No.
I have some energy to be able to determine, I believe, 4 of our objects.
Hmm.
So if we can go through those and see what ones have the most value, we can kind of take a look at those.
Always about value with you.
Objects can save lives,
It,
as I would.
you both have identify as a ritual spell, so it doesn't take a spell slot. It just takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You need to consume stuff, and
No.
we don't have that stuff.
Nope, that was a mistake during the last session. We looked it up.
Yep.
Oh, because it said a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces.
Or a focus.
We have a focus.
Oh.
And it only consumes it if it actually says in there that it consumes it. So if you were to look at the resurrection spell, it'll say it consumes it during the cast, but it doesn't for identify.
Okay.
So it's just a component
we-
which is replaced by
do
the
we-
focus.
Okay. Hot damn, I didn't know that. All right, then go and figure out what we can take a look at. So, do we have anything from the last session that we wanted to take a look at?
I'm going to post a list in the, and it's just a list of the items, and I'll do it in the in WhatsApp.
Are you guys splitting this task up, or is just one of you doing it at a time?
I would
I-
suggest you figure out what is magical and what is not, so we are not wasting more time.
That's
Can
a
you
good point. I still have detect magic going on, right?
I can't remember how long it lasts.
I believe it was
Yeah. All right.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I would say
Either
it's
way,
It's been longer than 10 minutes. All right.
either way.
I thought
It's
it was an hour.
it's a ritual cast anyway, so you can cast it again.
Yeah, I'll cast it and then look at our items.
Okay, can you send me a list of the items that you have written down?
I will do that. Yep.
And it appears that we have found ourselves on the opposite side of this island. Which is not exactly a good thing.
Okay.
You know, I've got a better list. Give me a minute. I can get you another list.
No, this is fine. The bag of gems, the studded leather armor,
Google Doc.
Fancy.
the gun and the ammo. Those are the only things that don't glow.
Oh, well, doggone it. Okay. So studded leather, bag of gems,
And the gun.
and gun with ammo. Got it.
Yep.
All right, so.
I want to know what all 3 of those wands are in the spell book is personally. So if we're going through it, then
You don't
All
know.
right, if
You
you
don't even
guys-
know he
if
has
you-
a spell book.
If you guys refresh that Google Doc, or Matt specifically you, if you refresh that Google Doc, that's where we have that's not identified.
you can. I see you update it as you go through it. So
What
you
are the
don't see
2
any typos.
pouches?
They're just pouches. That's what we have to identify.
What is this?
So-
It says 50 brown green identified.
Oh, it should be unidentified.
They're beads.
Yeah, they're just
Oh. Okay.
unidentified. There we go. Okay. So let's just split this up there, man. I'll take from the spell book down.
I will give you. Yeah, I'll give you each a list of what they come out to be.
Beautiful. All right, that'll work.
Alright. The wands are in my possession, the two of them.
Yeah, I'll get those here in a second.
Oh, goodness.
It's gonna be a long list.
Well, I've got the descriptions of the stuff in there too.
Yeah.
It's just easier for that. And then, oh, I sent you the second list. Let me send that to Matt instead. Is that a baby?
That was a cat.
And then Matt, the wands that you just got in the ring.
Biddle has the ring. But I have the wands.
I will get you
Ew.
those. I will get you those descriptions right now.
I can look those up if you want.
Okay, that's fine.
Ooh. Okay.
All right, you guys have the stuff.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Okay.
this shield is something that I believe that I can use if nobody has a problem with that. This shield gives me an advantage with towards my wisdom, and maybe I'll be a little bit more knowledgeable when holding it about what is around me rather than how I conducted myself in town. And I'll look at Scar.
Well, I don't use the shield, so.
But I have a feeling that you would like this. And I hand him these bracers. They're called the bracers of archery. It'll give you an advantage when you use the shorter longbow. And I give it to him.
That I could use.
And then I turn to Zormir and I say, you would probably get the most advantage out of this. And I'm going to give him the fine powder dust stuff. Whatever that is. And it's called, whenever you're ready, it's called the Dust of Disappearance. So when you look that up, that's what it's called. But it'll help you in the event that, because you are the stealthy one who always seems to sneak around, if you ever need to be able to turn yourself and people around you invisible, you have the option to disappear for a short while.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that the archery ones that you gave him?
I gave him the bracers of archery. Yeah. I gave Scar the bracers of archery and Zormir the dust of disappearance. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna keep the spell book. So you can add that to my name on the list.
Just says 100 gold pieces. 100
That's
gold
just
pieces.
because I copy and pasted. You've already
Yep.
taken care of the 100
Yeah,
gold
we already
pieces.
divvied that out. You have the enduring spell book.
Yep, I'm gonna keep that.
And that
then
spell
I'm
book
going-
is blank on the inside.
So I'd have to redo all my spells then.
You would need to transcribe them over, yes.
And that won't be. I'll just need. You said it was like 50 gold pieces a spell or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it was a Jesus. Damn. That's going to be expensive to transfer a lot of that stuff over, right?
It's
Or is
going
that
to.
just for.
No,
that's just for the scroll?
anytime you're scribing spells, there's a cost involved.
Damn. Alright.
Whoa.
fix the formatting of this later. Just now, I'm trying to expedite this process.
I'm gonna keep the potion of fire breath. Unless I don't have it currently, although I guess since I'm the one who figured it out, I'll have that.
Alright. And... Alright, I've got everything here.
Alright. Just gotta figure out what those two
Okay,
wands are.
looking up. So the bracers of archery in D&D Beyond says something different than what we have here.
Really?
Yeah.
Shouldn't. I copy pasted.
Oh, yep, there it is. I didn't read the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't. Okay.
So did you have the wand?
Yeah,
Rowan?
there should be 3 wands, but I only have the message for 2 of them because you have one of them.
I have a wand of magic missile. I put it in there. I don't know what the other 2 are.
I can tell you real quick if you want, or
Tell me or just copy his text and bring it over, and then I'll add it to the list.
Did you give me rights on that list? I requested it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Anyone can view. Let's see if anyone can edit. There we go. All right, you should be able to edit it now.
Okay. And then
I'm gonna spend some time after identifying it, looking at this gun and studying it.
It's a gun.
Fascinating. Well, I know. This is just. You know,
Zoramir, what armor are you wearing?
I believe I just have basic leather armor on.
I believe that's all I have as well. And since we are the only 2 that wear leather armor, I guess it depends on what's your AC.
16?
Okay. So is mine. Okay.
That doesn't help.
No, it does not. Does it? I'm trying to think. Does studded armor or studded leather give you disadvantage on
Nope.
sneaks? Okay. Well,
Where do I see my armor?
under equipment.
sorry,
Yep.
I'm changing this as you're changing it too.
yeah, I'm just trying to change the formatting of this.
I was doing that as well. I wrapped the text.
Oh, good.
Since
I didn't know whether
you
I got
have the boots of elven kind, would you mind if I took the leather?
What will I get in return to protect myself?
life. Nah.
He won't murder you. You're welcome.
Well, you're already sneaky.
Suppose.
Just trying to think. I don't think there's anything else other than the bracers that I could even do anything with. I'm trying to make this fair. If you would prefer the studded leather, then I am not going to deny you.
Ooh.
Wait, I'm confused. Sorry. What are the benefits of the studded leather?
I believe your armor class becomes 17 instead of 16.
Yeah, it'll go up 1 AC.
That's huge.
Well, since I already have
Ooh.
the magical boots, why don't you take the studded leather armor?
I thank you.
Man, inventory management sucks.
Well, we're getting it on par now, so it'll be easy to maintain afterward.
Alright. And then I need the spell book, and then I'm done.
There.
Oh, much better.
Yeah, good. Oh, good. You moved the carried by. Where's the wrap text, by the way?
I can do it for you, but that's
Yeah.
it's this button here. I'll just do it on the whole column.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. This bag of gems, is it? How many gems are we talking about? The reason I asked is that I'm looking for one that's 100. That has a value of at least 100 gold.
There's several gems in there, and they total 250 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll have to get it looked at. Thank you. All right. So this was.
After we get all these descriptions, I look at Blaylock and I said, I can't believe you traded that gem for these stupid wands.
Yeah, what are the ones
Shit.
anyway? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, goodness. All right, and then the ring of jumping. All right.
What was the pouch of fine sand?
Pouch of fine sand was...
Disappearance.
Dust
Oh,
of
that was the
disappearance.
disappearing one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyone want to lay claim to that?
I
Wait,
think
they
they gave it
He
to
gave it to
Zoramir.
Zoramir.
Oh, okay.
I gave it to Zormir.
Beautiful.
What was it?
We're updating the carried. All
The
right, I'm
dust
gonna
of
carry the gun.
disappearance.
Oh, yeah.
So it was
I
low
accidentally
sharpness.
I accidentally overridden one of the stuff that you had for Ring of Jumping. You need to fix that. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
There we go. And then oops. This one actually goes there.
And we didn't get the beads.
Beads are there. Bead of nourishment and bead of refreshment.
Do the crystals glow? I'm assuming they do.
No,
I don't have the crystals written down in here.
The green gem, the stuff that we found.
they don't
You
glow.
mentioned that one. They don't glow?
They don't glow.
There we go. All right. This one to.
All right, are we done with inventory management?
I believe
As much as
so.
what you can do later,
Yeah.
we should continue.
Who's got
Yep.
the oil of sharpness, by the way?
One of you two. It wasn't handed out.
Yeah, gelatinous oil with tiny. Well, to the party, this oil here seems to make your blade sharper, and you may even be able to do more damage. You can even use it on your arrows. That's interesting. Not much use to me. And then I'll look at Blaylock and Scar.
I could always use it for my arrows, but if there's somebody else who needs it more,
And
I ain't gonna be
Zoramir,
able to use it.
Zoramir, you can right-click your dagger of venom to see what it does. By the way, if you haven't done that already.
Oh, yeah, I got the page there.
spells, do I have to attune to each one specifically, or how
Only
does
if
that
they
work?
only if they have an A by them, but wands
Okay.
shouldn't.
And then the spells on that. If I use my arcane deflection, does that mean I can't use the wands either?
Nope. Yeah, you're not casting anything. You're invoking a wand.
Sweet.
Okay.
That would be dangerous.
If
I will
everyone,
take the oil of sharpness if Zeramir does not want it.
And then one more question. Sorry. I can cast with these wands and I'm at different spells or different levels. What is the level cap that I have for those?
I think it says it in the description.
Um,
It's based on how many charges you use.
Because I can, like, for example, the one wand, I can set it up to level 7 and cast it, and I imagine I wouldn't be able to do that otherwise.
Nope, you can do it. It just makes the wand disintegrate because it runs out of charges.
When it runs out, it disintegrates?
Yep.
I thought you had to roll a 1 for it to disintegrate.
That's what it says. That's what I thought it says. Yep. All it says is the only way that it disintegrates is if I roll a 1.
Yep.
And then
Wand
you get a
regains
recharge.
1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily.
all right, I'm gonna take these beads of nourishment and refreshment, and I'm gonna hand 10 to each person. These beads will, in a pinch, can be used to nourish you, and in place of a ration, and even serve as liquid, so water. So I'll give them 10. I'll give them 10 of each.
I'm gonna pass. I actually I don't need those.
Okay.
You can divvy them up minus me because I have been scavenging meat this whole time, so I usually have rations on me, quite a few.
Okay.
So sweet. Do we need to do anything else?
Rest.
We need to discuss the fact that we are halfway across the island of where we started. We have no information on the next piece for the sword.
That is true. Should we head back to town to see, or maybe inquire with these kobold friends of ours?
We are 3 weeks away from where we need to be.
They said we're near a port, no?
1 week.
We're 1 week away from the closest port.
I don't think these guys would know their ass from a hole in the ground. So I don't think they'd know anything about a sword.
They may know something, though. It's worth inquiring.
I say we meet with their elders, but remember that we are here on a quest to complete the sword.
Yes. They had already made mention of some creatures that are giving them a hard time. What was the name? What was their name?
They called them drippers.
Drippers.
Does anyone here know what a dripper is?
I have
we
no
not
clue.
know what those are?
And I'm pretty sure they don't either. That's why these names are not
I thought it was
familiar.
one of the creatures after you cut its head off and it bleeds.
That is most creatures.
So, after the meeting with the elders tomorrow, we can discuss what our next destination should be. We still have several pieces to find of this sword. If I recall, it was 8 pieces.
All right. Well, shall we rest?
I
I could use
think
it.
it's long overdue. And you said I don't have to attune because it doesn't have an A, correct? So I don't have to spend time doing that for any of the wands.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know why my long rest is not taking me back up to full hit points.
Are we doing long rest right now? Yay, nay?
I'm
plan.
yeah, believe so.
And the temporary hit points we had from that previous battle, should those go away?
Yeah, those went away a long time ago.
I thought you said they never go
No,
away.
they only go away during a long after or up to a long rest.
I thought they said his were different.
Oh,
No, mine aren't.
I
Mine. There was no text stating anything
Okay,
different. So
then
it's
it's
just like normal
yeah.
tempo
Then
points.
it's at the end of a long rest. Yep.
And in the middle of this long rest, I'm gonna kind of just stand up and walk to the edge of the tent and just kind of like the person in paranormal activity, just kind of stand there and look out.
Okay.
You're clothed.
So you stare out. Commotion of the little villages really went down as you watch people find their way to their little hovels and rest. And then, for once in the last week, you just feel peace.
Hmm.
This sense of no looming doom makes me uneasy.
Are we awake?
Hold on. Now, night goes on. You wake up the next morning. Zoromir's already awake. He sees everybody wake up.
You're up early.
About time you all guys came around.
Did you even rest?
I've taken to resting standing up for some reason.
Well, make sure we need you on our journey, Dragon Slayer.
I mean, Dragon Slayer's a bit of a stretch. He did miss everything until he stole that kill from us.
You are quite the downer there, Grovile.
It's called a clear outlook
Hmm.
on reality. You should try it sometime.
I believe that's jealousy speaking.
You're such a great warrior, then your blade surely should have dealt the final blow.
As you know, I don't use blades.
Points proven.
He prefers seduction.
Only on those I deem worthy.
quiet. Somebody is outside.
Who do you see, Scar?
Not so much see, but hear. I want to take a sniff. Do I recognize it?
You definitely recognize it.
You can come in, little one.
Oh,
You need to hide.
Is everybody awake already?
Yeah.
Happy morning.
Did you rest?
I got a full hour, maybe 2 hours. I'm good to go.
You weren't spending all night staring at that gem, were you?
Oh no. I was thinking of killing a dragon fight for it,
Hmm.
and then how it would hit me, and I'd get all angry, and then I'd hit him
No.
back.
Zoramir here slayed a dragon,
Again with the ghoulish overkill.
and Grovile over there tried to bed one.
But
It
if-
wasn't it. Didn't work out well. Just wasn't my type.
But if you guys are ready, the elder said you could come up anytime.
Take us to your elders.
It's right this way. And he walks out, and again, his chest is all puffed out like, I brought the heroes to the village, and everyone's just kind of keeping eyes on him and you guys. And you go up some a circular stairway that goes up one of the large trees, and you finally enter into a room carved into the upper part of the tree. In it, you see three seats that have been carved out of the bark of the tree. On them are three kobolds, and as you look around the room, there's various sculptures and things carved into the wall, different things, and one of them stands up. I am Greatscale. Welcome. Come in. And he beckons you inside.
I go inside.
I'll fall behind.
First, I must thank you for slaying that troublesome toad Maktu. He's been really hurting our livelihood. You see, did any of you happen to have the rather strong alcohol that we produce here last evening?
Yeah, I did. I think I already know where this is going, and I kind of like hold my stomach.
We actually make that from the saliva of giant toads and ferment it for a few years.
Oof. That makes sense now. Blaylock can taste it in the back of his throat.
That's why it's so delicious. But
Glad I did not partake in that.
It was good last night. I'm suffering a little bit today, but I think I'll be all right.
but I am one of three elders. This is Jagged Spine, and one of the kobolds that's sitting there nods, and Soft Feet, and they nod. And you see, when we heard the tale of you slaying the toad, we wondered if you could help us with a small problem. I know you're very busy. I'm sure you have many adventures to go on. Shortclaw
Extremely busy.
told us of your adventure. It's quite a riveting tale. But you see, there's darkness that's been creeping through our swamp here for some time, and it seems to have infected the drippies that have basically kept peace with us for a long time, but they seem more aggressive. They'll attack any of us that get anywhere close, and they seem to be destroying the land that they once lived on. We really just want to know what's crawling up them, and
What is a drippy?
you know a drippy. They're always dripping. It's disgusting things, really. But they've been here for a while.
We
Can you-
are not from here. Could you describe them for us, other
Well-
than Drippy?
They're about as tall as you or I, and well, maybe not you, but I, and they're kind of gray and they kind of drip.
Can
All
you
it's-
paint us a picture, a literal picture? Can you draw it for us? So we
I
can
would
see
love
what they
to
look
if
like?
our town artist hadn't disappeared months ago, but I could draw no more than lines in the sand.
Mm.
So they've become aggressive to you into their own lands.
Yes, I don't know what's made them so ornery. They kept to themselves for a long time. We lived in peace, cohabitating here, but the swamp seems to have lost a lot of its vigor and life. It used to be a lot like this grove, but now it's sick. Something makes it sick. And I mean, I realize you're busy, and if you could help us find out something, then we'd be happy to part with some of our shinies we have from our private stash. Not the junk that Broken Tooth sells, but some of our more private selection.
How far are they from this location?
Far, they, I don't know, I'm short, Claw. How far would you say?
Oh, probably a day's walk or so if you knew where you were going.
Let me guess. You know the way.
Well, I sure would be happy to help.
No, there
This
would be no
sounds
guarantee.
dangerous.
That you would make it back alive.
I think I'd be fine. I'm pretty handy with an axe.
Can I investigate him to see if he actually looks like he's strong?
I mean, he looks like any other kobold.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have someone lead the pack. Maybe they are the ones who get bit by the toad instead.
Be our
Know what I mean,
sacrificial
Dwayne?
leader.
I don't want to be a sacrifice. But I could show you where to go.
We could use a scout.
Especially one who knows the area.
I am not familiar, and the fact that we got this far was on luck alone.
Yeah.
Well,
I, for one, accept the help.
this might give us an idea of where to go to next if we help them with their drippy problem.
This darkness he speaks of sounds like something we might lead us to what we're actually looking for.
As long as there's no more frogs.
These drippies, how numerous are they?
Well, it depends on where you're at. I mean, they could number as far as our small tribe. It's
Do they travel in packs?
well, typically just like us.
Are they a tough foe to beat, or are they ones that go down pretty easy?
I don't know. I'm not one that goes into battle like such heroes like yourself.
Yeah, I've taken a drippy before. They're nothing.
I mean, if he can take one down.
You should have no problem.
I respect your bravery, little one.
I mean, it might have been a baby one, but
Hmm.
it's hard to tell with the drippy.
Well, shall we then? The sooner we get this task done, the sooner we can start heading back where we need to be.
This
You guys,
is true.
do they have any? Do you guys have any faster modes of transportation that we may be able to use if we hear of your trippy problem?
We have 2 legs like you have yourself. That's all we have around here. It's horses don't do well in the swamp.
So you're saying when we complete this task, I'll be able to take your 2 legs?
That
Profile.
sounds like a bad idea.
I think we should be on our way.
I agree.
All right.
All right. Well, let me. You guys can go down to squat and get some food, and I'll go and get ready.
Sounds like a plan.
So he hands down, and you go to squat, get some food. Zoromir, did you want to talk to him about some stuff?
We're going to squat?
Yep.
I kind of want to nudge squat and kind of take him to the side and reach into my backpack and grab a handful of the just horribly rancid raptor meat. What would you be willing to give me for this?
Nothing. Throw that away. That's awful. Why do you even have that?
Surely this must be some sort of delicacy.
It's not to us. Do you eat that?
Maybe you should let this ferment for several years and see what it tastes like.
I'm trying to persuade him. I hear if you put this in a bottle with certain juices, it can create quite a delectable cocktail.
I roll a persuasion.
Oh my
15 plus 0, 15.
I don't think you're right.
Hey, it's your loss. One-time offer.
I'll take that loss.
Okay, I kind of disgruntled. I'll shove it back into my
Oh
bag.
God!
Why do you keep putting that back in there? It smells horrible.
Kind of muttering to myself, somebody will appreciate this delicacy.
So, so you get some breakfast, some regular meat and stuff, and get ready to go. And after about 30 minutes or so, Short Claw comes over, and you see him. He's wearing kind of just like a loincloth. You don't have a shirt on. And strapped across his back, he's got like an axe, double-bladed battle axe, which the blades extend beyond his body himself. It's rather large.
I am ready to go.
You can use that weapon
You
safely.
better believe it.
Okay. I bow after you.
So he heads out and he just marches out, and you see him kind of lift his hand up, and he's waving to folks as because everybody's kind of come out of their houses to watch the brave adventurers leave, and he just thinks he's the hottest thing ever, just waving at all of them, and takes you out into the swamp. And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
What?
So For those that watched, thanks for joining us. We're taking a week off next week as I'm on vacation,
Boo.
and
Already?
I mean, yay.
yeah, heading to Disney.
Ooh.
Look with that.
Well, it's their lowest point of the year, so that's good. No crowds or lower crowds. On that note, everyone levels up to level 5.
Oh.
Oh,
Nice.
look at that. And we have 2 weeks to try and figure out what to do with it.
So remember, you're just rolling your hit dice and adding it to the total that's already there, and re-roll any ones that you roll because that's stupid.
Which die do we roll?
It'll tell you in your.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll say like 5d. I think you're a d8, so just a 1d8 for you. Some of you get. I think Scar gets a d10, but I think everybody else is d8. So, yeah. But
Awesome.
hope everyone enjoyed that. I'm going to close out the stream here and answer any questions or that privately to the group here. So we'll see you then.
Hmm.
Oh,